And hello, everybody. I want to welcome Kristian to the Butterfly Effect Transformation Through Energy Healing and Spirituality. And she is a author and a spiritual guide. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here, Carissa, and that we get to have this beautiful conversation and really support others on their journey of awakening.
Yeah, thank you. I would love for you to share a little bit about what led you to this path.
Absolutely. So my story may be familiar to many of you because it is often a way that we have our spiritual awakenings. I had a health crisis in 2007 that really turned my world upside down and had me searching for answers in other places than traditional Western medicine. So I went on a journey in 2008 because really the Western medicine doctors had done everything they could for me. And so I went on a journey to find out like what was going on with my body, how could I heal it? And I was led to have a psychic surgery in Brazil, which completely healed my body and opened me up to what the heck is this? What is going on? I really wanted to understand quantum physics, energy medicine. How is it possible that I could be prayed over and have what's called a psychic surgery and end up my body completely restoring itself and healing when every other form of energy medicine, or excuse me, every other form of medicine couldn't help me? So that really set me on a whole new journey. And so I began meditating every day. I began studying quantum physics. I began studying a modality that's called body talk that really resonated for me at a soul level and was really like the perfect container for my gifts to begin to flow through. So it really started to unfold from there. And within about 5-6 years from that, meditating daily and doing my work, things started opening up more where then I was channeling and bringing through guidance from what I call the highest light team. And it's just been a wild ride. I could have never have imagined possible, but I learned that that's the path of spirit. You know, as we open and we ask to awaken and to become more of who we really are, whether it's a health crisis that gets us there or a divorce or a death or whatever it might be, it's this beautiful opening to be who we really are. And I'm so grateful for the journey, even though as you and many of you watching, I know, it can be pretty startling and stunning and take us places we never imagined.
Yeah, I love that. And that actually led you to now you've channeled 8 books, or you wrote 8 books, and want to share a little bit about them, because that was beautiful to hear that what you've been able to create on this journey.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I knew from the time I was like age 12 that I was a writer. That was just like, I knew I was here to write, but I had no idea what that would ever be. And so I had my spiritual awakening. All these amazing things are happening. And one day after leaving an Abraham Hicks workshop, I literally got the download to a spiritual romance novel series. And I never had imagined I'd never written fiction prior to that. And so I actually wrote 3 fiction books called the Quest series, endorsed by Gabrielle Bernstein and James Twyman. Really amazing and super fun journey. And that came out in 2012. And then I've channeled 4 books. 3 of them are oracles, so you can just use it as an oracle to read. You have a question, any sort of question you want an answer, you close your eyes, ask the question, open it. It's amazing where those take you. And then my latest book, Love Now, is actually a daily guide, and every single day you get a channeled message or an inspired action to take.
Yeah, I love that, because I mean, I'm not huge on reading long stories, and I think we connected on that. Like, it's great to just like open up something and have a message for the day, maybe have a little bit of guidance. And for me, that's like, like your books that you wrote, I've gone to oracle reading cards because of that. It's just nice to get those brief messages. So I think it's beautiful that you were able to write those to support people on their journeys. And you're actually going to share one of them. I think we can share it a little bit later on. But yeah, I mean, what was your favorite one? Do you have a favorite one that you've written?
Oh, you know what's so funny about you asking that is that I do have a favorite one, and it's actually the one that I ended up pulling our
Uh-huh.
reading for all those who are part of this. And it's called Ecstatic Union with the Divine. And the reason it's like my favorite one is because to me, it's like the deepest, and it goes to some places and talks about topics that we don't normally talk about. And it just, when I was channeling this book, it just felt like such a like deep work of my soul. And of course,
Yeah.
every book has a different flavor to it and a different feeling. And I love those oracle hits, like you were talking about. You know, it's a great way to start your day with divine wisdom. You know, and
Yeah.
that's why I created them, because I love having that every morning.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
every morning I open the oracle and say, okay, what's my message for the day? And it just really helps ground and anchor you in to that highest light connection, which is so important when we're living in today's world. We need those tools that are easy to use, that reconnect us and bring us back.
Yeah, I think it's a great little tool for people who are just getting on their journey to be able to just pull something like that. I would love for you to share, like, so what are some of the topics in your favorite one? So you said they get a little deep.
Yeah. So it's Ecstatic Union with the Divine, live rich, live in love, live in peace. And it talks a lot about the peace journey, enlightenment, what that really is. I'm just such a student of the divine, you know,
Yeah,
like my greatest, deepest passion and desire is to fulfill my divine mission and to, you know, fulfill divine will for me. And I feel that deeper than anything I've ever felt in my life. And in fact, right before we got on this call together, I was meditating and just feeling that heart opening and that deep love for the divine. And so from that, I've been able to create tools that will inspire and support others. They also inspire and support me. And it's
yeah,
really so amazing to be awake at this time in consciousness, and to be doing energy healing work, and to be awakening, and to be living our sacred spiritual path, and to find the tools that work for us, and the teachers and the healers that are aligned for us. It's really such a rich time to be alive. And I feel like it's such a great opportunity. I love that you're doing this summit, because there's so many willing hearts who want to
yeah,
keep going to the next level.
yeah. That's definitely, for me, it's been a huge part. I mean, like when I was guided to pranic healing, I was like, well, like I mean, it just expanded my mind so much and really supported me in getting connected with who I am and understand more of like I'm not everything, like the way I've perceived things in my life, and really gotten me to get more centered and grounded in who I am. And everybody that I've connected with really has been such an like a it's just such a huge difference. You know, when you're on that path, I feel like it's really just it's a beautiful thing that allows you to get connected with yourself. So I get to experience that in other people that I've connected with on this journey. You talked a little bit about, like you mentioned meditation, and I love that you did that. So thank you so much for getting into your heart space before hopping on this. Would you share, or would you care to share a little bit about meditation and how that's been a part of your life and how it's supported you?
Absolutely. I'm so passionate about meditation because I was such a naysayer to meditation. You know,
Yeah,
before I got sick in like 2005, 2006, I sort of tried, because I'd heard it's, you know, like good for your health. And I was all about health and fitness and well-being. So I tried and I just couldn't do it. And my thing was, you know what, my mind is too busy. I can't do it. It's not for me. But after I got sick and thought I was going to die, I decided that I should probably make it a priority, especially after having such a radical healing. I felt, you know, so much gratitude to the divine for allowing me to be healed. And so I began my practice. And I feel like it is so fundamentally important to us in self-healing, in our connection to the divine, in our intuitive abilities, being really dialed and on point. So I tell folks, you know, it only needs to be like 11 minutes a day, but if you can take 11 minutes a day, every day, and sit in silence, or sit and listen to like 432 hertz music, you know, that
yeah,
music, and just be with that for 11 minutes a day. And then after a while, you might change that to 22 minutes, and you just keep expanding it. But what will happen over time is that now for me, after I've been meditating every day since 2008, now it's like plugging in. to the divine. And it's like, okay, I want to know what's up. So I just sit in meditation and I just get the next steps, get the guidance. What are we doing? What's happening? And that's available to everyone who's willing to meditate every day and show up. And then you have this deeper connection with the divine within yourself, first and foremost, and the divine around you. And it's so grounding. It's so centering. And it also has like all these amazing health benefits. So it's like, you can't lose with meditation, even if you think like you can't do it. It's a daily, consistent practice. It will change your life. It will absolutely open the doors for your divine path to be lived.
Yeah, I definitely agree. For me, I had to start out with some guided meditations, and I think that was a huge part for me because like I had so much going on in my mind, and I know a lot of other people did. Did you start did you go down a particular path with meditation? Did you do guided ones? Did you just, allow your mind to be free and just kind of blank, or was that challenging for you?
Yeah, it was challenging for me. Nothing that I've done is really aligned with any dogma or tradition. So I didn't do guided meditations, although I create guided meditations now because I realize how valuable they are. But I just started out silently and let the monkey mind and just didn't, I just try not to get caught up in it. I would just breathe through it. And what I tell folks is like, if your intention is to meditate and you've set a timer to meditate, you're meditating. Whether you sat in that time fighting with yourself or whatever it was that came up, you're meditating. So I started out I have a tendency to do things a little bit more the hard way than you need to. And perhaps that's so I can make it easier for folks and share tools and tips that'll make it easier. But I think guided meditations are amazing. Listening to music, silent might be harder for you, it might not. And sometimes I go to sit in meditation, I'm like, I need music. Sometimes I go and sit in meditation, I need silence. Every day might be different. And I don't believe we have to have like a rigid practice other than to do it every day. And then whatever you're feeling in that day, to honor that.
Yeah, I love that. You shared a little bit about some of the things that you've overcame on this journey. I would love for you to dive a little bit deeper into that because there's so many people out there who, they're not even necessarily on this journey where they're awake yet that this might reach, and they don't really know the possibilities. Like for me, this opened up a whole new world, and I've realized that there's been such amazing transformations like that people have made from this journey. So I would love to hear some more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, for me, some of the biggest transformations have been definitely the health piece, right? Being really sick and then not being sick. The other piece that's been really huge for me is that I was raised in poverty and I grew up in poverty and had a really strong poverty consciousness. And I didn't know how to get out of it. There was nobody around me with money. I really believed that there were just some people that were meant to be wealthy and some that weren't, and I wasn't one of them. And I lived paycheck to paycheck, or, that very limited mentality. And one of the greatest transformations that I wasn't even seeking in all of this, but that came through receiving regular body talk, through meditating daily, through being with the divine and asking for guidance and really committing to be spirit-led, was just a complete transformation of my money story. And it's something that I work with a lot of folks on. Something that happens a lot when people work with me is that they get windfalls of money. And we're not trying to make that happen. It just naturally happens when you're aligned to who you really are. So I think there's a lot of poverty consciousness in the creative community and the healing community and the artist community. And so those are usually the folks I work with. So we do a lot of transformation on that because every single one of us is born rich. Yeah. Every single one of us, we come into this plane and we receive programs and stories that say we're not rich, but we 100% are. And so part of our awakening journey is learning how to access that wealth and how to live in that wealth. And it's a consciousness and a feeling first. And, I didn't know any of that, right? I came from a poor community, raised by a poor family. It just was just like what it was. And so that's been such a huge obstacle, because it really is. If you don't know you're wealthy and you're operating as though you're in scarcity and lack, it creates a lot of suffering in your life. And so to really awaken to the fact that we are divine, wealthy beings, and then to use the frequency and to use what we know to be able to access that wealth, not in a manipulative way, but in a way of, let me receive by divine right, guide me to the wealth and prosperity that is here for me. And then we learn that we work for Source, and Source is the one that pays our bills, and Source is the one that brings in those checks in the mail and those deposits in our account. And our work is to bring ourselves into holy alignment with that so that it can come.
Yeah, I love that. Would you like to share any of the tools that you've used to support people through that process?
One of the main things is receiving body talk sessions. So what that will do is clear the subconscious blocks and help folks step into claiming. So I've had it happen on several occasions where we focus on releasing blocks around poverty and scarcity within the session itself. And then what's on the other side of that is, 2 to 4 weeks, months, they find out they have an inheritance they didn't know they had. They win a contest. I mean, there's all kinds of like dramatic ways that this comes in. For me, it came in through recognizing that I'm a divine being, doing my daily practice, my daily spiritual practice, my emotional work, receiving body talk healing. And it just started to build and build and build. And I went from, living very smallly to multiple 6 figures by doing holy work, doing spiritual work. It was not, I didn't get a windfall of money. My clients get that. That does not come to me. But through my alignment and my daily practice and having that support, it occurs. And this is available to everyone. It's just finding the practitioner that you have a soul resonance with. So my clients who've had this experience, they have a soul resonance with me. And because of that soul resonance, amazing, incredible unfoldings will happen. And the same thing happened for me. My practitioner, my body talk practitioner, her and I have a very strong soul resonance. So I remember the first time she did work on my money story, I literally came back, looked at my calendar. I was a healing practitioner and it had booked out. So for me, the money came through the work. And that's one of the reasons for that for me is because I need to be doing spiritual work. This is the work of my destiny. This is the work of my soul. So that's how it's going to come for me. It'll be different for everyone. What matters is that you find that soul resonant support and then go deep on it. Meditate every day, work your tools, get regular sessions, and it will change. It will 100% change.
I love that. There are so many people that are struggling and in that scarcity mindset. And I think that's an important tool or key that you said, that it's that soul resonance is important. Not everybody is meant to work with everybody. So I love that you're very particular on that.
It's really important because I think as practitioners, it's important to remember that there are only certain souls that there's specific souls, I should say, that you're going to have the best impact with. And for those who are looking for a mentor, a practitioner, or a guide, to remember that you don't want to just choose someone because they're like the sensational, like whatever. You want to choose someone because you feel a deep resonance and you feel that knowing that this is the person to support me and going to my next level, because we always have a next level to go to. It's just, okay, who's going to be the guide? Who's going to be on my team? Who's going to be the supports to allow that to happen? We didn't come here to just exist and like sort of just twiddle our thumbs away in our life. We came here for a divine purpose and reason, every single one of us. And we have new expanded levels that we get to keep going to. And our job is to put together, I call it an entourage, put together an entourage, a spirit team. Why do the celebrities, are they the only ones that get entourages? We're all rock stars in our own story. So we all deserve to have that entourage that is our support team so that we can keep going to our next level and becoming who we really are. And it's so fun when we can see it in that way.
I would love for you to share a little bit about your other novels that you created. What are they called again?
It's called the Quest series, and it's a spiritual romance novel series. So these are just really fun books that I never would have imagined writing, but we've got some conscious, sexy scenes. We've got, lots of magic and mystery and synchronicity, departed loved ones showing up. I mean, they're really, really fun. They bring in the spiritual elements, the paranormal, the, expanded understanding about love and partnership and It's just a really fun series that a lot of my clients will use, and they'll read when they want to like up level their love life. They'll read one of the novels, and it was just a work of joy in my heart to create those. And I think it's just so fun if we're going to take in media, reading, whatever it is, that we take in stuff that brings in some spiritual enlightenment with it too, and some spiritual play and some new insights. And also my intention with those books were to showcase what it looks like to live a spirit-led life in a world that you may not be surrounded by other beings who are living spirit-led. And so that was really fun for me to get to show that, because I'm so passionate about living spirit-led, and I feel like it is the best way to live. And so it was fun to create books that illustrated that.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you feel extremely passionate about in your life and your journey that you feel called to share?
That's a great question. I would encourage everyone watching this to take a nice deep breath and remember that you are a divine being, and that you came here on a special mission, special earth mission, and that you're here to reclaim all the lost parts of your soul. And in that reclamation, you're here to co-create more of who you truly are on this earth, whatever that might be. And that other people don't need to understand you. They don't need to validate you. They don't even need to like be down with what you're down with. What matters is that you're down, and that you're fully connected to who you really are. And that the path to being fully connected to who you are isn't difficult. It isn't difficult at all. Daily meditation, daily prayer, get some spiritual tools, some oracles, whatever it is that you feel resonant with. Bring in a soul-aligned practitioner. You literally have the foundation for living an extraordinary life. It really is not as complicated as we may think or it may seem. And I would encourage everyone out there who resonates with this message to really make it your intention to fulfill your mission, be who you really are, but not get caught up in that being like a complicated, hard thing. It really isn't. And you have all of the tools. I was just teaching a workshop about this today. Like, we're in this matrix and it has a lot of stuff going on, but what it also has are all the remedies. Everything that you need to become who you really are is here for you, and it's accessible to you. And so there are those areas in our lives that we feel blocked in, but we're only blocked by our thinking, by our thought forms, by our level of awareness. That can all be unblocked. And in that unblocking, you can experience more magic and miracles than you ever thought possible.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, because, I mean, so many people get caught up in the world, and it's important to remind everybody who they truly are, and life doesn't really have to be that challenging. There's so much joy if we can just see it. Sometimes it's really, we're focusing a lot on a lot of the negative stuff in our surroundings, and I think that's why gratitude can be so supportive of people. You picked a oracle from your book, and I'm so excited for you to share that.
I'm so excited to get to share it with all of you. So I just ended up asking, okay, what's the oracle we're going to read from today? And the guidance I got was that it would be Ecstatic Union with the Divine, the one I was talking about. That's my favorite. Yeah. And I asked, okay, what's the message for Carissa's Summit that we want to share? And I pulled the same one twice because I was like, are you sure? And then I checked again and I pulled the same page. So I was like, okay, this is definitely the message for us. So it's, I'm just going to read part of a transmission, and it's actually going to take you through a little bit of a practice. So if you can, just go right along with it and let it center you and let it bring whatever divine wisdom it wants to bring to you.
I love it.
So first, take a nice deep breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of your mouth. We want you to think next of someone you love so truly, so deeply. Allow yourself to really feel this love for this other. Now notice, you are often energetically reaching out with your energy to that one, or going up into your mind to access this one and this love. We want you to pull your energy back in. Can you feel where the energy from your heart went leaping outside of you? Now we want you to pull that back in. You do this by imagining that you are pulling that energy back into your chest, back into what you might call your heart chakra. Now allow that energy to come into your heart chakra and feel it from there. Feel the love you have for this person from inside your own essence, inside your own heart. And if it feels a little constricted, give it more space. Allow that energy of love to spread throughout your whole chest and back and all around your energy field in the area of your heart. So just take a moment to feel that. What we're doing here is, so often when we love people, we put our energy outside our body and attach to them. And so the guidance is to bring that love into your heart and really feel it. So we've now activated this love vibration within your field. And now you're in a more integrated state of true, pure love. Now we want you to tune in. Do you love where you live? Do you love your home, the town or city that your home is in? Allow yourself to feel this. We have talked to you previously about the importance of your environment, and we're ever more focused here when we share with you that your environment matters very much. And if the response to the question, do you love your home, is a no, then your next question is calling forth divine will to allow you to be living in the home and in the community that you are most destined and most meant to live in, and that it occurs with much ease and grace and abundance. Next up, we are asking, do you love your body? Do you love the clothing and jewelry and hair that you adorn your body with? Do you love the way you sculpt and shape and move your body? If this answer is not a resonant yes, it is now time to call in divine will to ask to be shown what you must do next to allow this response to be a full and complete yes. And now we were asking, one that gets so many of you, do you love the work that you do in the world? Do you love the place you do this work in? What is needed to be shifted so that this answer can be a full yes? In this transmission, we are literally giving to you the tools you need to shift and shape and mold your thoughts, your beliefs, and perceptions so that all of these questions can be a yes for you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, this was first introduced to me, that we take our love and we like put it on someone else and we attach to them.
Yeah.
It totally blew my mind. I was like, we are doing that. And so when we bring that love back into our body and we really just allow it to fill us, then we have that connection to love. And then when we have that connection to love, we can be like, okay, what's working in my life? What's not working? What do I need to adjust? And we can see it clearly, because otherwise we're seeing it through a lens that doesn't serve us. So I just love this reminder. It was great for me as well. I'm so happy that this was the transmission.
Yeah, it really resonated with me. And for me, it is a huge reminder. We often place our energy in other people, and really to bring it back into ourselves, it can be extremely powerful. So I just want to thank you so much for sharing that. And I can't wait to, I'm going to grab some of your books, your Oracle books. I'm like super excited about that now, because you didn't get a chance to share any with me, but that was amazing. And I just can't wait to see what else the divine has, just provided us here with through you. And it's just extremely beautiful that you get to share that. And I'm just so thankful that I've had a chance to connect with you. You are an extremely beautiful human being, and very obviously in your purpose. And yeah, I would love for you to share anything else you feel called to share right now. Like, I mean, if there's anything that you feel called to share, this is your platform to connect with people.
I really love that we have the opportunity to have summits like this where we can speak about these topics that are so powerful and important, energy medicine, wealth consciousness, spirituality, feeling love deeply in our hearts and allowing that to fill our body. Like, what a gift that opens us up to healing our own bodies and healing our souls. And it's just such an incredible gift that we all have to keep expanding and learning more and growing. So thank you for this summit. Yeah, I would say if anyone's interested in, checking out the oracles or anything like that, they can connect with me at risingupforlove.org. All of our good stuff is on there. We've got a free love meditation also.
Yes.
For your people. So I think you are posting the link somewhere.
Yeah, I'll put the link, on the summit. And thank you so much for sharing that. I think love is like a huge, love is everything. So I'm so excited that you get to share that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so true. Love is everything. And so if that's like the one thing you take from this time together today, it's like, feel that love in your heart, let it expand, feel that love, because love is the only thing that matters. When we make our transition, we're not worried about anything else other than like, who did I love? How did I love? Am I feeling the love as I make this transition? It's just so, so important. And I love that we got to have this conversation today. Thank you, Carissa.
Me too. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. So thank you again so much for being here. And I hope all of our listeners, our audience, gets that chance to connect with her if you feel called to connect with her. Or one of her books. She is simply amazing, and she has been doing this work. She's had a lot of transformation herself to be in this space. So if you feel called to connect with her, do it. So thank you all for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you, and we'll see you guys soon.